Welcome back. I am so excited that you're here. You keep coming back because this topic is something that hits home for you, and you are absolutely determined to figure it out. So I love that for you, and I'm here to help you with it every step of the way. So today's topic is a good one because it's perimenopause, and a lot of people come to me, and you'll even see a message that I got this morning. Like I edited the slides this morning to add it in, and they were like, "Yep, my doctor told me that." It's just age. There's nothing I can do about it. And it's like, okay, well, what do I do from here? So I'm here to tell you very much with a lot of certainty. I'm here to tell you that there is absolutely something you can do about it. And it's the perfect time to do so because you can't go on like this. So I'll walk you through here are the typical symptoms I see and what it's coming from. And then how do you know exactly what you need to do? So we're going to walk through that. Let me go ahead and share my slides so you can see that. It's nice to follow along with it. So move this out of the way, hit present so you can see it. And by the way, I made this slide on purpose to look like this. For me, when I see this slide, I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on. But guess what? This is probably how your life feels too, right? There's a lot going on, whether it's clothes and toys on the floor or things going on at work, right? Like you have a lot going on than just worrying about yourself. So there's a reason why fat loss feels harder in your 30s and your 40s compared to in your 20s when it was like effortless and easy. And it's like your body just turned on you. Like you flip on the switch, you hit that magic number of whatever, 35, 40, 45. And then it's like, oh, all hell breaks loose. And now what do I just do for the next 50 years? Do I suffer through it? Can I actually do something about it? So I'm here to tell you, number one, you absolutely can do something about it. Stay tuned. We'll work through the specifics in just a moment. So this is the word, right? It's the buzzword, the catchword of the last couple of years. Hello, perimenopause. But is it just because you reached that magic number? Do you have to accept that it's all downhill from here? So here's that message that I got. This is what her doctor told her. It's just part of aging. In other words, it's normal. It's part of life. Hormones are going to fluctuate. That's just what we should expect. But truly, that's what the pharmaceutical company wants you to believe because then you can be on their pills forever and not necessarily do the work that can result in lasting fat loss and also make you feel better along the way. And that's my response. Like, I hate that one and it's not true. So let me tell you why it's not true. It doesn't have to be essentially a death sentence or a hormone sentence of like, you have to do this, blah, blah, blah. But you're actually in the perfect place to make changes. You're more likely to make changes now than ever before. In your 20s, when fat loss was easy, why do you need to change your lifestyle? You could, I remember in college, I would pull an all-nighter. I would show up to class the next day. I might go out with my friends that night and I could just keep on going. It's like puke and rally, right? We can't do that anymore. But now that we know, like, I don't feel good, I need to do something about it, you're going to, right? You're going to follow through with it. And you can actually change things at the foundation that have lasting effects for the long term, right? So, yes, really, you can make these changes. So, despite this, right? Just like you, I also have a lot going on. I have kids at home. Sometimes my floor looks like this, or we have this going on, and we have sports practices, after school events, things going on the weekend, birthday parties, you name it, right? There's always something, some event coming up, weddings, bridal showers, birthday parties, all the things, right? All the things that come with celebration, and we want to embrace them. And yet, it does pull us away from being able to focus on maybe what's really important and needs that focus. And yes, despite this as well, right? Sitting at a desk, I'm sitting at a desk right now talking to you, and we are less mobile than any other point in human history. We sit at desks, we communicate, and so our lifestyle shifts need to be intentional in order for us to catch up with where we want to be. So, at the same time, when all of that is absolutely true and it's valid, and I understand it because I'm also living it, your body didn't like flip a switch and then all of a sudden break because you turned whatever that number is, 40-ish. It's been going on for years. It's been going on under the surface. Your body's been giving you small hints. Maybe they're bigger hints. Maybe it was whispering and now it's like knocking. And soon enough, you're going to like have a brick thrown at your head and be like, oh my God, there's something major you have to change, right? That's where we get the scary diagnoses. I won't even say the words, but we get the scary diagnoses down the road when we haven't been paying attention for years and years and years. And I don't want you to get there. I want you to stop, break the cycle ahead of time so you can actually see changes, reverse anything that has been done, and be able to see results, right? That's where we want to be. It's also the perfect time because you're done with the bullshit. You are here because you're ready to make a change. I know that about you because especially if you've been watching the rest of the series, you're here because you want to make a change and you're done with all the like quick fixes, the trends, the fad diets, right? Like they're not working. You know that. You know that there needs to be a strategic plan that gets you results, but you don't necessarily know what that plan is because you don't have that background, right? So you just know that you're done. You know that you're ready to try something new, that something is going to work. So let's walk through some of the signs. And these are signs that sometimes I have a client with everything on this list and they're like, yeah, this is me. And sometimes it's just one or two things. But when we pull the right levers, we can make a lot of changes when we focus on the data. That's my background. I love the science. We focus on the data. They don't have to like second guess it. We just are able to see results, right? All right. So here are some of the signs that you might have missed. You are exercising more, but you can't lose weight despite what you are doing. Maybe you wake up at somewhere between that 2 to 4 a.m. mark. Your mind is racing. You can't fall back asleep. Fun fact, that actually happened to me last night. So I'm not saying that I'm the perfect one that has everything figured out. I will say my son woke me up because he was overtired and he came in and he was like, Mommy, I need, help falling back asleep. I can't sleep. But then when I put him back to bed, my mind was racing. I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about all the other things I have to do and I couldn't turn my brain off. So I understand how these things impact you because I'm living it just like you are. Maybe you go through PMS, perimenopause, you're still having your period. And when you go through your cycle, you feel totally different. Maybe you feel like a totally different person, wild animal, I've heard it called. You feel drastically different at different points of your cycle. That's not how it necessarily needs to look. Or maybe you're like totally unmotivated, like emotionless, flat, used to feel really excited about things, and now you're just drained and you don't have the energy to enjoy the things that you used to enjoy anymore. And this is probably the number one thing I hear is I have stubborn belly fat. It's there. It's not budging. I'm doing everything. I can't move my belly fat, right? And then we have other small symptoms like brittle hair. Our hands are cold. Your nails are breaking. Your energy is crashing, right? These are the signs. And chances are they've been going on for years, some of them, and you just haven't known what to look for. So let me explain why you're seeing this, and then we'll go into like, what do we do about it? So number one, you exercise more, can't lose weight. Why not? Maybe your cortisol, you have been chronically under stress for a long time. Your body's just going to hold on to every calorie it can get. Maybe you're under eating and not getting enough calories. Maybe your blood sugar is super unstable. So, especially when you do a lot of cardio, maybe you do cardio the next day, you're starving and you eat a lot more than you realize, and your blood sugar's up one day and down the next. Another one, 2 to 4 a.m., those wake ups. Why? In the middle of the night, maybe your blood sugar is high during the day, but crashes overnight. Cortisol comes back. Your body just wants to keep you alive, but it wakes you up. Or your nervous system is there. It's shot, but it's trying to keep you alert. So again, you're just able to survive. PMS turning you into a wild animal. This is usually coming from estrogen dominant. So you have a lot more estrogen compared to progesterone. Your detox pathways are not able to get rid of that excess progesterone. Excess estrogen. So you can balance out that progesterone. So your detox pathways are blocked. And usually there's some sort of gut involvement there where you're looking at leaky gut being an issue. Maybe you feel flat and unmotivated. So what's going on here? This could also be related to gut health, could be related to a simple B vitamin complex deficiency, could be related to serotonin being produced or dopamine. We're seeing screens, right? All the time. You might be watching this on a screen. And so when we're used to seeing that, that can really impact our neurotransmitter levels, how our brain works. Stubborn belly fat, the one I get asked about all the time. That's cortisol, almost always. But like, okay, so what? I have high cortisol, right? What do I do about it? We need to know your insulin levels, your fasting glucose, your fasted insulin. Knowing these levels, your A1Cs, like knowing all of these sensitivities is going to tell you how insulin resistant you are, how much your metabolism needs to shift, how much your glucose levels need to shift in order to not retain all of those calories stored. And as we get older, we also tend to lose muscle mass. So if we don't have enough muscle, you're not going to see the toning despite however much weight you do lose. And lastly, we see brittle hair, cold hands, energy crashed. This is often related to thyroid, but it could be nutrients. It could be something going on with your gut where you're not absorbing the nutrients, even if you're eating them, right? So we have a lot of things at play. This feels overwhelming for me to say. So I understand where you are coming from, and you're like, this is a lot for me to take in. She just went through this really fast. Like, where do I even begin with this? So I'm going to pause. I'm going to slow down. You're probably like, what do I do? You do not need a medical background to make healthier choices, right? You don't need to be an MD, a DO, a PA, a whatever acronym. You don't need that in order to make healthier choices. But you do need to know what to look for. These are usually the hidden signals that over time add up to bigger signals, and that could be sabotaging your results. So what do we look for? And this is why I love functional medicine lab testing. And this is part of my practice. I wish everyone did it. Some of my clients choose to do group coaching, and that's fine if we just want to focus on the foundation. But often they're adding this on later as they learn more about it and realize, oh, wow, there is something that can help me see progress, see results quicker. Because when we're looking at all of these things in play, if you don't know what your target is, you are just shooting in the dark, right? If you have a target, you can hit it, and we know what to fix, and we know how to help you. So what we know, if we know, hey, you're depleted in vitamin D, you're depleted in vitamin B, then we need to add those in specifically into your whatever sort of supplement routine. If we know that your cortisol levels are really high before nighttime, there are lifestyle shifts we can adjust. There are potentially supplements we could add like down the road if the lifestyle doesn't help. If your thyroid's sluggish, you could exercise all you want, but your metabolism is still not going to burn the calories that you want it to. If your hormones are out of balance, you could be doing all of these other things, and you're like, I am wading through mud. I'm stuck. And sometimes gut health plays a role too. So that could be yeast, candida overgrowth, could be bacteria, could be parasites. Those are more symptoms driven, and I don't always start there with people because my clients tend to focus on these first. But gut health is something that I can absolutely help you explore as well. And, that might be the best place for you to start. Go in the right direction. So what does this look like? What do you do when you do a lab test? What's the cool thing about this? I work online. You might be anywhere in the United States right now listening to this. I can ship you a at-home functional medicine test. This one, the one that's up on the screen right now, is a very simple hair sample, so it doesn't hurt. You snip a couple pieces of hair. You're not like bald, don't worry. And you mail it in and you get results. And then you have a very targeted plan on what do you do about it. So this one I love because I can tell looking at this person is depleted. Their adrenals are shot. They're probably somewhat stressed. And then over here, if you move my face over here, their thyroid is sluggish, their immune system is probably not functioning properly, and they might have some metal toxicities going on. Like, so what is that? However, on the plus side, they are getting adequate protein in their diet, right? I can look at very simple lab tests and just off the cuff be like, yeah, here's where we're going to go with this. And this is exactly how I'm customizing your plan. It helps us get results quicker. Here's another one, another test. This one is one of the gut health tests. It's also one of the easiest tests to take because you're peeing in a cup. So easy, very much painless. It is a simple place to start. But if you're like, hey, I'm bloated and I look like I'm pregnant, I can't remember what I did with my keys every single day of the week. I have such bad brain fog. I have sugar cravings and I'm raiding the pantry every night because I can't stop the cravings. And I have tried everything and I can't lose weight. I want to lose more fat. Hey, this could be the test that you do. And this test actually has 75 markers. It's quite in depth. And I know when you're looking at this, you're like, I have no clue what those indicators mean. I broke it down. I took just a screenshot of one section of this test. It's once you understand that you don't want to be out of range, and then, hey, there's 3 markers that are out of range. This person had some yeast overgrowth. Of course, they have sugar cravings. Of course, they have these symptoms, bloating and so on. And so when we're able to see the data, it not only explains why you're feeling the way you are, but it gives us a very targeted approach of like, well, here's exactly what to do about it. And in this case, it's a gut healing protocol. The last one I want to point out is cortisol. And I know I did this earlier in the series, but here's a different test result. This person was probably, I can't remember if she was drinking 3, 4 cups of coffee in the morning. She was drinking a lot of coffee in the morning because she had kids and she was exhausted. She felt like a zombie. And that's because her morning cortisol was very low. But in the evening, she couldn't turn her brain off. And she was tired but wired, mind racing. And this is what I see almost always. But what your doctor is going to do, they're going to take cortisol in the morning. Maybe fasted cortisol might be really high rather than really low, but they're only going to look at one point throughout the day, where you need a 4-point cortisol test to look at how it is throughout the day, especially at night. So you need to have this data. Now, you're thinking, wow, this is going to be really expensive. I don't know if I can look at every single test. I don't know if this is in something I can manage right now. Or maybe you're like, give me all the data. I want to know everything. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need every test. Every single person needs their own customized approach. I don't do a one size fits all because that's destined to fail. So I can help you point you in the right direction of this is the test that makes sense for you based on your symptoms. Not to say it's the only one we do in the long term, but let me put your dollars to the most efficient use so you can get results as quickly as possible. Sometimes we don't need a test. I've had clients have success with diet and exercise and getting more sleep alone. But if you are stalled, if we try those things and they don't work, know that there are multiple things that we can try to get you the answers because you deserve to have answers. And so, in kind of closing this idea out, there is no excuse in today's day and age to kind of go through life without knowing why you aren't seeing results. Number one, I'm offering you a free call so we can map this out. The first step, by the way, is to apply. I'll give you information in just a moment, but apply to work with me. We'll get on a call. We'll go through what you have going on and map out, like, here's what I think it would look like for you, because you deserve to have the answers. You deserve to wake up and be that best version of yourself, because that badass version of yourself is the one that is a really good mom. You're a powerhouse at work. You have your shit together and you feel really good, but that's probably not what you are feeling like right now. And that's harsh to hear, but also powerful and empowering because you know that there's a path forward. And that's really essential. You need to know that there's hope at the same time that you also deserve to have it. Like, I'm here to tell you that. We will go into more depth into that mindset. That's what the masterclass is. It's not just that map out, but like, well, why? Why does this matter? Why do I need to do this? We're going to dive into that. So that's the masterclass. Definitely stay tuned for that. That's coming up next in this series. And if you are ready to go ahead and you're like, yeah, I just want answers. I just want to know what's going on with me. I need to talk about my symptoms and my focus areas and all the things that I have going on in my life and create a custom plan around that. That is what I do. And in the link in the description, you will find my application for coaching, and I would love to hear from you so I can help you get results because you deserve them. With that, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the masterclass.